Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. Well, it's been about 3 weeks since I've been here doing any videos. I'm shoving stuff off to the side because I've got piles around me. But I didn't get a whole bunch done before we went to South Carolina, and then I was in South Carolina, and then all last week busy trying to catch up, and now I'm finally back this week. Now, what I'm starting with is on Tuesdays for the month of May, I am going to be part of a design team, a guest design team collaboration with Tatty Treasures and Collage Type, which is right here, okay, with Nadine and Tanya. And so we are using the Memories of the Meadow kits, which there are several. There's several of us that are doing this, and each one of us has a day. So my day is Tuesdays through the month of May. You're going to watch me put together a project using these papers. So I already did cut some things out. I've been duplicating papers, like printing more than one. My printer started to run out of ink over here. So there's a couple of misprints and things, but that's okay. Can still use stuff. That'll be fine. But as you can see, now I've printed this on, I think it's 32-pound copy paper, and it's cream colored. Oh, my nose is running again, guys. Oh, good heavens. It's just spring. Oh, golly. All right, let me just put that to the side there. So what I'm going to be doing, though, is, I started to say this is, but you can see how many, now I did print a few duplicates of things, particularly, there's some other things in here this is upside down, but this was from a giveaway from Collage Type. It says exclusively for Tanya at Tatty Treasures, and this was down the rabbit hole. I wouldn't be using these, but I will probably use these. Now, I think, yes, the way it's supposed to print was portrait, so they're larger sizes. I just turned it to landscape and had it fit to the page, so it automatically shrunk it down, so I have the same flowers in a smaller size, as you can tell. Okay, so there's a few things in here. There's some freebies and there's some other stuff. Tanya has a Facebook group, and I will post all of that information in the description box below the video. And obviously I didn't get all these things right side up, not that it really matters. This is another one that has the roses on it. So this is my idea. I'm going to be cutting out a little bit of stuff to begin the project, but I wanted to explain my idea. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is a journal. And I'm going to be doing sort of a journal within a journal. And that being said, is when I first heard the title of Memories of the Meadow, my mind was just reeling with images, things in my storyteller mind going on. And I was very excited when Tanya contacted me and asked me if I would take part in this, because I started thinking about some of this. And some of you may know that I like to write stories and I like to write a little bit of poetry. So I'm going to write sort of a poetic story that is going to go into this journal to tell a story of a child, probably a girl, but a child. And I did start writing it. I have my notes down there next to me. Who, as a young child, stumbles upon a meadow, and in the meadow she finds fairies. I'm going to say she finds fairies, and she comes and she plays with the fairies often, but as she grows, little by little, she doesn't get back to the meadow as often as she had. And now she's old. She's come through her life, and she's older, and she longs for her childhood again, and another chance to play with the fairies in the meadow. So these are her memories of the meadow. And so this is going to have a journal in it, but within the journal there's going to be a hidden place. And it's not like my hidden tags or hidden journaling spots. It's going to be a different kind of hidden place, where the fairies magic book will reside. And that is going to be made from another kit, which I haven't printed out yet. Tanya and Nanine have a few more new kits that are called More Memories of the Meadow. And I have one that is, it's a half journal size, but I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller, I think. And that is going to be the fairies magic book that's going to be hidden within the journal. And within the journal is going to be in the covers, as you open the covers, they're going to flip open, and there's going to be parts of this story of this child's journey from childhood to old age and longing to go back to the meadow that she remembers so fondly and the fairies. So that is the idea that I have for the book. I've got ideas in my head. We're going to see how this works out. Now, I do believe that there are 5 Tuesdays in May, so hallelujah, because it gives me an extra Tuesday, gives me an extra day. I don't want to make it gigantic, but it's going to need to be plump to some degree, in order to do all the things that I wanted to do with it. So these are the papers, and this is probably going to be the papers that I'm going to be using a lot of these types of things on the flips and flaps as you open these covers and the story unfolds within those flaps. Every time you open one, there'll be part of the story, and then when you open the next, there's part of the story, and when you open the next, there's part of the story. The front cover will be the first part of the girl's life. The back cover, as it unfolds into its flips and flaps, will tell of her longing to return. And somewhere in the middle, within the journal itself, will be hidden the tiny little book with the fairies' magic spells in there. So that being said, some of the things that I'm going to use, I bought some of these books as well to go with it. So these have, and I know you're probably getting glare on these because they're, well, you know what? No, that's not bad. But they're not very big, but I was going to cut some of these out, use them as cards or perhaps as cutouts themselves. However, part of, and I hope I'm like whetting your appetite for this so that you'll want to come back and see what I've been doing. I did get from a digital. It is not from Collage Type or Nanine from Tatty Treasures, but I did get a digital that gives me these little fairies, and I have the spring flower fairies of the spring, flower fairies of the autumn, flower fairies of the summer, and flower fairies of the winter. And I do have another book which is a little bit larger for the flower fairies of the year and something else within it. So there may be more than just what is in these books. But I have this digital, and let me get one of these because I'm probably going to be using these file folders for the flaps within the book. And I cut out, and there's even more in here, and there's a few that I didn't get to yet. But oops. Oh no, that one hasn't been cut. Let's just get these out of the way so you can see these a little bit better. I still have to cut these, but I cut a whole bunch of fairies. I made them really, really small. I actually made them a little smaller than this, but my eyesight and my hands would not cooperate with making the fairies any smaller for me to be able to cut them out by hand. So I'm just trying to get some of these where you can see them. I know they're not all going to be seeable, but for the most part, get some of those, and I'll bring them up so you can see. So I have all these tiny little fairies, and they're going to be in places throughout the book. And one of the plans that I had was to take some of the florals that I might be able to get out of here, possibly. It's a possibility. Not sure exactly. And some of the florals, let me move these over this way, where you see flowers like this, okay? And I'll probably try to shrink that down and make that a little bit smaller. In some cases, it may be bigger. What I want to try to do is to put the flowers down, do them as a fussy cut, and then do them almost dimensionally, go back, print them again, and then perhaps just cut the flowers out again themselves. But every here and there, one of these flowers is going to be able to lift up, and when it lifts up, you're going to find a little fairy underneath the flower or underneath the leaves. However I do that, they're going to be hidden throughout the book. Some will be seeable, but in more than one way, some will be hidden, and you have to kind of look for them. So that is my plan. That being said, let me get my little fairies, see if I can get them back into this little vellum envelope. Okay. And these I think I cut out of just 20, I think it was 28 pound. Oh, it's got stuck under my nail. 28 pound presentation paper. And I did them in white rather than the cream because I wanted their color to be a little more brilliant than the more subdued background of the cream colored paper. So try to get these guys back in here. And I really don't have dimensions in mind. I am planning on possibly doing a cover that will mostly end up looking like leather, not leather, I'm sorry, like bark on a tree. And let me just kind of move this way. And I know you can't see this, so let me get my cutter here, which I think it's time for me to change the blade on here again. I am just going to cut this down to, I have a hard time seeing what's the same. All right, I'm going to, just for the sake of making everything even, I'll use my 1-inch line out here and see. Oh, you know what? I need my better, that's got a tinier blade. Let me get this guy. While I was in South Carolina, I did pick up another cutter, which I haven't opened yet. So it's another, see, that wouldn't have worked. I need it here because I want the edges straight. Okay. And we'll put these guys to the side because, you know, one never knows. Let me put them in this scrap bin over there. Okay. And I think I'm trying to decide on my dimensions. This is 5.5. 5.5 and 5.5 is my 11. All right, I'm gonna cut this down to 11. Okay. Now, I'm not sure, that's kind of sharp edge on that little thing right there. I'm not sure if these will stay this size. Okay. And what I'm thinking I want to do, which I could have done before, I've got a little piece of something in there. I'm just going to take off an edge here. Okay. Just a sliver. And I'm going to use these little foldy lines on here, kind of score lines, to create my flaps. And one, or actually two, Getting actually kind of warm in this sweater. It's just a little zip-up sweater, but it was damp today and I was just chilly. All right. So what I'm thinking is if I go ahead and use the little score lines on here. Whoops, there's 2 of them here. Don't want 2. There we go. All right. Okay, so one is going to start from the top. Then these don't have a score line. Okay, I think that would work. All right, let me use this. And I need some sort of something that I can, just try not to use a pen. Oh, there's a pen. Oh, is that a pencil? That is a pencil. It's got lead in it. What do you know? All right, so if I'm gonna do this one this way, and I'm just using this to keep things straight and hold them in place for me. I think what I'm gonna do, and I'll use my little squares on here so I can keep them consistent. Okay, we're gonna go into here. I'm going to, trying to decide. So I'm trying to think of what I'll cover them with. And I think I'd like them layered. So I'm gonna come to here about, I think that should be about right. You hold that up. Oh, look at that. I did that good. Yeah, my problem is looking straight on at something. I can't tell what I'm seeing. So, all right, so I'm gonna cut that there. And then this is 1 square, so I'm not gonna cut. This is where I'm going to score. All right, so since I did that, I'm gonna have to score first, cut later, and then I'm gonna do another one. And these should start, let me put this down here again, so I shouldn't have to cut anything. I'm trying not to bang into anything. Okay, let me get a scoreboard. Get my little guy. All right. Alrighty. I just want to put them on the line. I'm going to score it first. Ooh, I went right out the top. Score that first, and then I will trim. And I will do the same. This is the other 2. We'll do the same to this one. So this one's going to get scored. That one out of the bottom. Bring it over. I'm just trying to line it up with the other one, is what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's just the hinge. So I think I should be pretty close. Whoops. Only if I stay in the, thank God this is going to be covered with paper and things. Okay, so we have that. Let me put this away. Oh my goodness. Let me get this one out because I think this will be easier if, in fact, I can find all my bits and pieces. All right. So, it's funny. It's a little longer than the other one, and I cut it from the same folder. All right. I think I'm trying to see where it is. There it is. All right. Good. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm not going to do it this way. I am going to do it with the cutter because it would require 2 little marks to make a straight line. So this way I don't have to. This way I just have to line it up. Okay, so that's one. And this is the other. So the cover, I will say this, that I'm going to try to do, I saw a few years back on somebody's YouTube channel, and she used paints and glue and all kinds of stuff, and paper towels to, I guess it doesn't matter which way I go here, to create like a tree, like bark. So I'm thinking, how am I going to want to do this? I got to do it backwards. If this one opens first, then this one would open next, then this one would open next. No, actually it would go this way and this way. Okay, so imagine these are stuck down. Okay, and they're going to be stuck to the inside of the cover. All right, I'm trying to make them a little bit even. And again, I know you're not. Oh, let's try this. Here, I'll put that here. Sorry, I just hit the camera. Made you a little seasick. So they'll go like this. And there's going to be backing paper, you know, decorative paper. There's going to be some other stuff on here, probably some flowers and greenery and whatever on here. And the story will start here. And then this will flip up. Probably the story will continue here. This will flip down. I'm not sure I want to do it that way. See, I'm working all this out as I go here. What would I want? I think I would want it the other way. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of trying to work this out about where each one of these is going to go. All right, because I want it, when you open the flaps, I want it to be as continuous as I can make it. Okay, so if this is the way, a little something on there, glue or something. If this is the way it's going to go, more or less, the story will start on the front flap. You'll open, and the story will continue here and here. And then, is that what I want? No, I want this. See, I know what I want in my head, but then trying to make it. All right, there we go. All right, let's try this now. I'm gonna have to keep these clipped together so I know how to put them back together. Okay, so here we go. So the first part of the story on this flap, when you open, we'll get the second part of the story here. When you open this, and let me pull this down a little bit. When you open this one, we'll have more of the story here. And then when you open this one, there'll be more of the story here. And then when you open this one, I'm not sure what's going to be down here. There'll probably be more of the story here. And then on the back would be the same. The front part with all these flips are going to be, got to put it back now, guys, are going to be, I think this is how I did it. I'll figure it out again later. The front part's going to be the first part of when she's a little girl and as she grows, and then the back part will be after she grows and longing to come back to her memory, to her meadow that she remembers so fondly. So that's going to be how I do that. Let me see what time it is. Well, I think that'll be enough for right now. So that gives you at least the introduction to what I'm trying to do. So I'll get more things cut and figured next week. I'll have the story, I'm sure, completed by then. And I'm sure, I don't think I'm going to try to hand do it. I think I'm just going to do it on the computer and just, you know, cut out the pieces. Put those 1,100 or so fonts that I have to good use. And so we'll see. I'm not sure if we're going to get to the cover or if we're the actual like decorated part of the cover, or if we're just going to be working on the components that are going to go within the book itself. So we'll be using, like I said, I have a bunch of things cut out here. There's tags and there's little, you know, labels and pretty little things and very sweet. There's stamps, which I started to cut out and I was doing a bad job, so I stopped. Sometimes when I get tired at night, I just have to stop, give my eyes a break. These are little tags, but I'm going to be backing them because this is, like I said, is only like a 28-pound paper. So I'll be backing these, and then I'll cut out the scallops when I'm done with that. There's a couple little envelopes like this. Whoops, it was right side up. And there's still a little bit more that's in here that I'm going to be doing. But this is just some of the beautiful, beautiful pieces within these kits. I will be using some laces. I will be using cheesecloth, probably a lot of cheesecloth. I will be using some greenery, like silk leaves. That is the only one that's there. I'll be using some of that. Going to be an assortment of things. I want it very textury, so that you can almost feel the story as it's unfolding. So that is my plan, guys. So I hope you'll be back next Tuesday to see what else I've come up with, and watch along with me how this how this all comes together, how it comes out of my head and gets created with these beautiful, beautiful kits. So I will be seeing you next week. There's my little fairies. We'll put a couple little fairies out so you can see them too. Gosh, they're so cute. This took me a while to cut these out, let me tell you. But yeah, this is going to be fun. This is really going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy this project, and I hope you'll enjoy it along with me. In the meantime, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. I'll see you next week. So take care, be safe, be happy, and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.